Hey, what's going on, my ninjas? This episode was bittersweet, sweet and sour. It's like a Sour Patch Kid cut me open and poured salt in my wound, but then gave me a blowjob afterwards. It's like a bit of pain and pleasure at the same time. Pleasure comes in because we're getting plot progression. The animation's great, although I do not like the voice acting of young Obito still. Like, I really prefer the old Kakashi Gaiden version of Obito. It's still fine. Everything about that was great. But the flashbacks from Kakashi Gaiden, did we really need half of the episode to be flashbacks, especially if we got the exact same flashback literally last episode? Now, even though we have not gotten an episode in about 2 weeks, and they're trying to, I guess, refresh us, this is not necessary. They gave us the exact same flashback, and it seemed to have taken longer this episode. Like, they showed more from Kakashi Gaiden, so this episode was literally half of the same flashback that we saw in the previous episode. I'm like, come on, man, get on with it. Although they did still manage to swallow up about 2.5 chapters. I was like, whoa, but they could have done a little bit more. But with all that aside, Madara Uchiha, the big dick Uchiha himself, is on the battlefield now. He is right next to my man Obito, and everyone's wondering, what does this mean for the 5 Kage? Madara straight up says, maybe I raped them. Maybe they're back there, assholes spread open from my Susanoo sword. And although it was a bit more graphic in the manga, I believe the Kage had like a branch going through his heart, and everyone was a bit more fucked up. And we got a nice ass shot of the Mizukage in the manga. It still shows that they're dead pretty much, and that Tsunade is the only one alive. Although she seems to be the most effed up of them all. I mean, her feet are like a good 50 feet away, so she's cut in half. So someone could easily come up there and just, I'm sorry, my mind's in a dirty place right now. No spoilers, by the way, but do you think this is the end of Tsunade? Do you think that she will sacrifice herself in order to save the other Kages? Because that's what it's looking like. But I mean, looks can be deceiving, but if you're a manga reader like me, do not spoil it. And I like how Obito is getting chomped off by Madara. Like, Madara's asking all these questions, and Obito's like, will you shut up? He doesn't say it, but you can tell because he never really makes eye contact. Madara's like, what happened to Nagato? We fucked up. Why is the Ten Tails being revived right now? We fucked up. Why am I in Edo Tensei form and not brought back by the Reni Tensei? We fucked up. So this episode makes it clear that Madara, Obito, and Nagato all came to some type of agreement at one point, and Madara transplanted his Rinnegan into Nagato. That's how Nagato got the Rinnegan. They are not his, so people, please let this debate rest. Those were Madara Uchiha's Rinnegan, and that when it was time, whenever that time would be, then Nagato would revive Madara. And Naruto better be glad he used a shadow clone to use that Biju Ball on Madara. I mean, he came up there with that little Biju Ball, and Madara just straight up Kamehameha his ass. I mean, he got demolished. How can you make the big dick Uchiha more awesome? You give him a big dick fan that can reflect any ninjutsu. And I really like how Madara says, I can't count on any of you guys. Obito, you take them. I'm going to go get the 9 tails and 8 tails. Right after he stated he cannot trust anyone, he barked an order at him. And Obito's like, hold on, Madara. I have to have a flashback. I have to show the audience what became of me after the rocks. And at this point, it's not clear, but it's suggesting that Obito just somehow managed to awake his Sharingan power by phasing through stuff and phase through the rocks. Or maybe, you know, Madara sent something like a Zetsu or something to go get him. But either way, he's in the cave with old Madara, and Obito has this hilarious mistake of calling him Death, and he even asks him, do you want me to help you to the bathroom? Now, am I crazy, or did Madara say that would be good? Like, he agreed to it. But Madara shows us why he lived so long. He's siphoning chakra constantly from the Mazo, and you know, one can only assume that if he was detached from it, he would die probably instantly. So he's going to try to get Obito to, you know, come to his side, although we know that he ultimately does based on what he's doing now. We are about to see how Obito transformed from this kid who wants to get back to his comrades no matter what, who's willing to crawl through this unknown cave with one arm and half a leg, to the Obito that we see now in the present day. But the new ending is great. I just love the symbolism. Everyone's face is missing. Their eyes are white or black, except for Obito and I believe the Ten Tails at the end. Music's great. The animation's cool. The colors are vivid. I would definitely give this ending a watch. If you don't watch endings period, I would give this one a watch because it pretty much sums up everything that's going to happen within the next 15 episodes or so. But tell me what you guys thought about this episode. This has been jbDAuchiha. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'm out.